Well, oh, she's here. Yay, she's here. Okay. I see her. I see her. I see her. There she is. Make sure she's on the. She's arrived. She's arrived. The guest of honor.
You
Welcome.
guys see me?
No, I can't see her. I can hear you.
You can't see me. Okay, hold on.
There's a camera icon you have to click at the bottom left.
Bottom left.
Oh, that would be so helpful. Yeah.
It would.
Here we go.
I'm gonna make you big and me small, so just prepare for that when you go when you get on here.
All right, hold on. Okay.
I love libraries, Katie.
There we go.
There she is. Okay, hold on. I gotta put you on.
Hey.
Put you on. Oh my God, it's so funny that I'm
Welcome.
seeing you in your little world that I always see you in videos. So it's like, she's there. She's actually in the space.
I am in the space. It's been a crazy day. This is like the moments when my work is, tougher than normal today, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Everybody going through stuff, huh?
Not in the last couple hours because I had a business meeting the last couple hours, but yes, people going through stuff, and I feel like it always happens when I'm about to leave town.
Yes.
I go, no, I can't talk to you tomorrow. I'm on flight in the morning, But thank goodness for virtual, like teletherapy.
Yes.
A lot of things are virtual, but yeah, it's one of those days. So
COVID did accomplish some good things.
I look forward to talking to you guys. It's more fun this way. This is about belongingness, right?
Yes. Totally. About connection and belonging and everybody being able to kind of process what feels like a loss in the moment, like with them leaving us. And we definitely wanted to get your take on that and your advice for us.
Yeah, definitely. I love looking at these comments. Someone's saying, I'm so glad I don't need subtitles. Yeah. No subtitles.
No, and then I realized when I put the post information up, I didn't put 2 O's in Noona. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, it's all good. I didn't even see it.
Okay, good. Good. Well, everybody, welcome our guest. I'm not going to make a huge, but Jeannie is amazing. I've been watching her since day one on TikTok. She is a licensed therapist, and she knows everything, and she uses K-dramas to really kind of get people through the process and see therapy and mental health in an interesting way. And so it's like a dream come true that you're here. So I'm just going to hand you the floor and just say, we do have a couple of questions, but we really want you to start, exactly what you want to talk about and give you the floor. So.
Yeah, no. First of all, thanks for all being here. I see some faces. First of all, no, the pleasure is mine. And when I get to do stuff like this and talk more about mental health with not just Army, but also anybody, right? It's just a huge passion of mine. I will say in the last few years, just with everything we've been through, if we're talking about, so some of us based in the US, but also around the world, COVID, a lot of contention, all this stuff, mental health. I mean, I think I'm talking about it more than ever, And so even when I said today was a hard day, it's an extra hard day because I do that every day, but it's a little extra hard when you hear some tougher news.
Right.
I'm just bringing that up because that's part of why I always say, that just went blank. That's part of why I always talk about a daily mental health hygiene. We're really good with physical hygiene. You know that. Well, I mean, I hope we are, like taking a shower.
Right. Brushing our teeth.
Brushing our teeth, which we hope people do. But putting on lipstick and whatever. We're really good about it. Working out, even walking. And even when we talk about diets and what we eat, right? All of that is just a given part of our language every day. But mental health hygiene is obviously what I work with more. And then it all connects to physical hygiene. But I need you guys to think, I was going to say off the boat, you're building your resilience, which you've all heard that word. Everyone talks about it, is actually an everyday thing. It's like an everyday thing, meaning you're not born with resilience. We have to work on building our resilience. And it's not this X factor that, oh my God, you're so cool. You've been through this much, so you have resilience. Am I making sense? And so I wanted to bring that up because I'm like, I would pose it to the crew. Think about what you do daily to help with that mental health hygiene, to be constantly taking care of yourself. So honestly, you're not coming to people like me or therapists in crisis. We're actually great if you come to us, of course, when needed. But my goal is that you come and you're proactive about your mental health. Meaning, you know what? I see something. It's like we're all prepping for, we're all prepping for BTS to leave. Okay. But
Yes.
it hits you hard. So I'm just giving you an example, but being proactive. So I think I heard lots of folks starting to talk about it, and then it happens, but you're a little bit more prepared. It still hurts, but you're a little bit more equipped because you have each other. That's what I was trying to get at with proactive mental health, you know?
That makes sense.
So that was my little thing, being just thinking that way, just like you brush your teeth, like you go to the dentist, we go for annual checkups or something. I want the same concept where you don't have to go to therapy or see a therapist because you're in crisis. It could be like, I'm going through this life transition, or, I need someone else to talk about this with.
Right.
And
Verbally process.
and I love when I see that. And it should just be, like I said, a normal part of the process of like you checking your teeth as a checkup. And I think the US is there compared to other countries, but I just wanted to bring that up, saying it's a very normal, everyday thing, your mental health. And
so what do you think that looks like in the norm for people? Like, what was that? What's the active step that you're saying like we could take every day to do that one piece of the routine that would help us get to that place?
Yeah, and I'll say something with the get to that place. So what does that place look like? Well, I'll be honest with you. Every single day you reset because it's a new day and it's already what you've been doing. So when I share things like a therapist I'm not here to talk rocket science. I'm like, I'll turn it back to you, Steph, or everybody on this call, Katie, and all the people on this call. Hey, what do you do already, or what are you already doing to help you through your day or tough time? And here's what I hear a lot from Army, right? Louder Than Bombs has helped me. I'm just thinking of a song. That is
Right.
that. It's really helped me. Or Jeannie, I loved when I was watching Suga talk on this interview. I broke down because usually you break down or it hits you because it reminds you of your own experience, or you also empathize with their experience, right? But I'm bringing that up because I go, oh, it sounds like what you need to do is listen to that song as part of your meditation. I've done that before. I'm like, it sounds like you need to do that. Or it sounds like you need to talk to a fellow Army or a K-drama fan to get through the day. And that's an example, just because I understand pop culture, right? There's some things who may not do that. I'll be honest with you, right? But more and more are getting it when they're seeing me doing what I'm doing. They're like, we see what you're getting at. I go, if it gives you happiness. And I just did a video on guilty pleasures. I've had people saying, yeah, watching BTS videos is my guilty pleasures. I'm like, why is it guilty? But that's the phrase out there, guilty
Such
pleasures.
a great question. Yep.
But it is an oxymoron. And so I have learned to actually rephrase people, even on a live workshop or a live call, going, oh, what you mean is K-dramas or listening to BTS or watching BTS videos is your self-care. That's what you're trying to say. And they're like,
oh, I love that.
I do too.
Normalizing it.
Writing it down.
I know.
Yeah. Why do you have to feel guilty?
Well, yeah, like
about something
puritanical history of America. Why does pleasure have to be guilty? But anyway, Stefan's gonna come smack me.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it's not fair. Have you ever heard sports fans go, "This is my guilty pleasure," watching, I don't know, the NFL or watching the Super Bowl?
Right.
You don't hear that.
They don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah, I hear it a lot with. Okay, so I'll give my age. I'll be turning 50 in a few weeks. Yay! I'm gonna break my age. I hear a lot from 50 up where they're like, Jeannie, I'm a huge Army fan, and I'm like, why are you whispering? You know what I mean? Because they're like, because I'm 72, and I'm like. But to me, I'm like, that's so cool. You're so cool. I hope I'm like that, And so I'm just sharing that because from their demographic, so the baby boomer demographic, and they've told me this, they do get mocked, or they're a little like, why are you watching like 20-year-olds like dancing around? You know what I'm saying? And I've heard people say that's so stupid, and not trash. They have not said that, but it's kind of like that caliber. And so then they feel sheepish, and then that's the guilty pleasure. Oh, I'm watching. And so I'm trying to rephrase that, because why should you feel guilty or shame over something that does make you happy, right? And again, it's a matter of public opinion.
Right.
Like I've said this so many times, societal opinions of pop culture or shows that they judge as, oh my gosh, why are you watching that, right? Is something that we just have to navigate, right? I think you guys have told me that some people have gotten bullied for liking BTS or talking. I mean, that was, I can totally see that, especially in certain pockets. People get made fun of watching K-dramas constantly by their own family members. Like, what are you doing? And so it's just a matter of me helping people. You know what, though? Just find, first of all, what makes you happy.
Right.
I have to confirm that it does make you happy. They're like, yes. I'm like, okay. So then that guilty pleasure, which I don't know who created years ago in that phrase, should be just reframed. It just makes you feel guilty because
Yes.
society thinks, why are you watching BTS videos, right? Or why
Right.
are you watching a K drama in a different language? I've heard
Right.
that too. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, from a mental health expert, if it does make you happy, guess what happens? The
Mhm.
happier you are, the better you'll be as a parent. Let's start there.
Absolutely.
As a
Yes.
spouse, as a
Friend,
colleague,
anything.
right?
Mhm.
So that's, I don't know if I even answered your question, but I was just
No,
going to
you
share
did.
that. That's
Yeah.
being grounded and believing in what gives you joy is
Mhm.
like mental health 101.
Well,
And
and I even think the validation from you and from other people also helps with that, because it kind of takes that shame part of it away when you
yeah,
realize, you know what, this is not a bad thing. This is not something that I have to be embarrassed about. This is actually very healthy.
yeah,
And that's just like, it's freedom for me to be able to
yeah,
that's one of the reasons I started watching you talk about K-dramas, because I did get a lot of that from people that were like, why are you watching K-drama? And I'm just like, because I learn a lot from them and I love them and they make me happy, but they made me feel that the people were the ones that were making me feel shame about it. And so when
yeah,
you're coming to us and saying, whether you're a BTS fan or a K drama fan or whatever it may be, if it makes you happy and it's
yeah.
connecting with you, that's a good, healthy self-care thing. I mean, that's
Yes, start with that mentality because like do you judge others? I mean, maybe we do. We're all judgy. Like let's just give it that way. We're human beings that are judgy. But I oh my goodness, when I hear that phrase all the time, I'll hear it a lot. Oh, I listen to I'm a Blink. I heard that the other day and I went, okay, that's so cool. That's fun. And
right.
it's in corporate America, they're like, yeah, I know. I'm like, you don't need to whisper. And then I crack up the room or people are like, you're right, that's fun. It's cute. We saw them in concert in Atlanta or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to get at is also obviously somewhere along the way they thought they shouldn't be listening to a Blink because they're a certain age or they don't know the whatever that is, that reason.
Right.
That has to
Right.
still that's still a little bit there, as big as BTS is and as big as K-pop has become, has as big as Korean culture has become and K-dramas, that's still that guilty pleasure in that same
Mm-hmm.
sentence. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I did that video, because I was like, oh my gosh, I think
Mm-hmm.
I hear this every day in the last 2 weeks. Why does
Yes.
it have to be guilty? No.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
just
then
And I think
it
reframing it.
takes the fandom sort of, and it
Yeah.
almost puts you on like defense. You're immediately like, I've got to be defensive about this. And then you're just trying to like prove to people when it's like, why does it matter? Why does it matter that we feel like people have to validate or make it okay for us?
I mean, I'll share that because that's also human nature that you want them to also hop on board with something you love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's terrible when they actually dislike what you love. Now there might be
Mm-hmm.
people who are like neutral with BTS or other, K-pop or whatever. They'll be like, oh, okay, whatever. That's different than, oh my gosh, I actually heard that the other day. I can't stand the way they dance. I don't think it was BTS. Somebody like Stray Kids or
Mm-hmm.
something. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's really strong opinion.
Right.
You're like, okay, and you just listen to that because obviously I'm never going to also make fun of someone's opinion, but then
Right.
it's like a distaste. There's a distaste or something, and that hurts the person that loves it. So that is why we try to convince our friends and family and loved ones, hey, this is why we love them, and
Mm-hmm.
hop on board. But I will say, at the end of the day, I share this. It's not even a trade secret, but sometimes it is. I say this: you cannot change someone's mind.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
even a fellow army, if they're like, this is I don't know, who was I arguing with? Who's the best looking BTS member? By the way, we probably have all different versions of that. But people argue going, no, this person. I'm like, why are we arguing about this?
Yeah. Why are we fighting about that?
first of all, we're all winning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're
all
all
winning.
winning.
By the way, who
We're
do you guys
all
think is the
winning.
best looking? Put it in the chat box. Who's the best
Yeah.
looking?
Yeah. Who do you think?
All of them. There we
Like,
go. That's a great
who's your
answer.
bias? But actually, someone who's my bias is not necessarily the person I think is best looking.
Yes.
But
Yes.
BTS. Just saying. But why I'm bringing that up is because I feel like people have gotten made fun of, particularly any K-pop fandom, K-drama fans, still feel that. Bullying is a little strong, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And you have that even within a K-drama community or a
Mm-hmm.
K-pop community,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so that definitely impacts your mental health. But yeah, so I'll start there. That's why the community is so important.
Mm-hmm.
That is why I said this, and I'm trying to be careful how I say it without insulting like an artist. But if I find a community or fandom toxic, I do go back to the artist a little bit, going, I mean, without blaming
Mhm.
them and saying it's you, but just being a little, what's that vibe you're giving that people are
What's
this
the
mean?
root? Right.
Right. What is that?
Mhm.
And so that's why I think BTS Army is also representing BTS, right? You're kind
Yes.
of mimicking that. And someone said that about me and my tours. Like, so people go to my South Korean tours. They're
Mhm.
like, Noona Noonchi, the people on your tours are really wonderful people. They're not saying, hey, because I didn't know these people that came on my tours, but it's
Right.
just the environment I'm trying to foster. So
Mhm.
BTS has done a great job with the environment that they have. I would say mistakenly, it's not like they set out to do it,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
just authentically curated. Does that make
By the
sense?
nature of
That's what
who
I
they
think is
are
beautiful.
and sort of the example that they lead just in the way they live their life.
Yeah.
You want to follow that lead. That's at least that's how I think that's how our team sort of developed this whole concept of the connection, because we felt like they are such an example of connection. It's obviously so important to them. Why not carry that light forward?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And
So you
just
guys,
in
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just in the comments, I saw somebody say something I was thinking a few minutes ago, which is about confidence. BTS
Mhm.
is at least outwardly, I'm sure they have moments where they doubt themselves, but they show us confidence. And
Mhm.
this project has helped me be confident. And I'm seeing from other people, somebody said it gave her the confidence to wear a BT21 shirt out in public the first time. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, why do we have to feel ashamed about this? Like, if you approach people with confidence and just say, like, yeah, I love BTS, like the less afraid you are, the more positively people react to it.
Yeah.
So that's exactly okay. So you touched on something I'll expand on when I talk about even with mental health, with confidence. I mean, I went to business school, so I use a little bit of a marketing angle. If you're trying
Mhm.
to market yourself in a certain way, do you kind of go, "Hi, my name is Jeannie Chang. I'm Noona Noonchi." I mean, they'll be like, "Oh, like you're
Yeah.
obviously not really into into K dramas," but you kind of
Right.
see my aura, like I'm very passionate about it, and
Mhm.
my own confidence because I believe in it. So I always tell people it is very important that confidence coming from you, like
Mhm.
first you going, "Wait a second, hold on." I really, I always hear this, BTS has saved my life. Okay. So you
Mhm.
hear that all the time and you hear different instances why, or whose song gripped you the most, or just a change from, just recently someone just said it helped me go through like several deaths in the family.
Mhm.
But then I'm like, okay. And then they wanted to share that. I go, now your confidence is just that it helped you through deaths in the family. So you don't have to shout it like, oh my God, this is how I feel, but be like, going through several deaths in a family back to back is enough to break anybody, because it's very hard, very, very close loved ones. But they present it in a way, it's just something I worked with when it came to coaching of like wanting to present something. If you don't feel the confidence, even if how many times, like BTS, they're human. So there were times when they're
Right.
Right.
totally like, even now you see
Yeah,
them
they've
struggle.
told us that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and they tell you that, right? And actually, by the way, when you are that authentic and sharing it, guess what? It gives you the confidence because you just owned your feelings. So my thing is even
Mhm.
how you present your emotions, how you present your mental health, how you present your BTS army does matter. Like what I'm saying is I need you to be found grounded in the confidence to go, by the way, this is why I believe in them, XYZ, whatever, ABCDEFG, whatever that is. And then
Mhm.
you're not sharing this to convince the other person
No.
to come on board. No,
Right.
we think it is. No, it's not. You are sharing this for you. You are
Mhm.
sharing that you believe in Army Project 529 and why you're doing this because what BT has done for you in your life, that you're sharing it for you. And whoever's listening, great. But you're really going, oh my God, this is, and I think you just said it. Is it you, Kate? I don't know if that's
Yeah,
you on
Katie.
there. Yeah. And that's why you said it. You're like, this has given me so much confidence. So I've just reframed it for you. You're not
Yeah.
going to try to convince anyone else of this project for them.
Mhm.
You're saying it because you believe in it. And guess what happens? And they're like, oh my gosh, Katie really believes in it. Oh, hell, let me check it out. Or you know what? She really believes in it. So let's just let her be, that kind of thing going,
Yeah.
great,
Mhm.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
Great, good job.
Mhm.
Well, and
So
BTS
Mhm.
is proud of Army, and I want to be proud of being Army for them. Like, I'm
Yeah.
proud of them. They're proud of us. It's such a beautiful thing.
yeah,
Right.
right. So
Right.
you're sharing it for you, and
Yes.
that helps your mental health. But the minute
Yes.
you change the reframe going, I gotta convince 15 people, then I'll
Oh,
guarantee you'll
we
get distressed.
No.
because you can't
Yeah,
change
yeah,
someone.
you're exactly right. I think that's when
Yeah.
I got most distressed with this project, was when I feel like when I see it as like, oh, I've got to help people connect. No, people will find us that are meant to find us, and it will happen naturally and organically and beautifully, because that's who BTS is, not because
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a certain thing, or we as a team have to carry a weight of doing that.
And
Yeah, and
It's
I
that's
think
so
it's great. You're a
freeing.
vessel. You're a vessel that
Yes.
started this. So you have it there, but you're right. Then it gets too stressful, and then you kind of lose why you started in the first place, right? You're
Yes.
like, oh my God, I'm gonna get this person, and then it gets, and we just have to do that reality check, going, okay, why did I do this in the first place, or why do I love them in the first place? I did that too, going, why did I start Noona's Noonchi in the first place?
Right.
Because it's overwhelming when people
Uh-huh.
approach you or poach on you, also give you mean comments, you know, so that's hard, right? And so that's all part of this. And so just staying grounded in what I call emotions 101. How you feel is how you feel. Someone will definitely say, no, why are you feeling mad? And that's not what I meant. You could be like, okay, maybe that's not what you meant, thank you. But you could say in your head, but that's how I felt. Like, I definitely feel that I'm upset by something. There's a different way of how you present to someone if someone hurts you, but you can also, but don't change your mind about you feeling hurt. You're like, no, I definitely feel hurt from that, but I'll just kind of deal with it with this person. Am I making sense?
Yes.
That's what I call
and
emotions 101.
it's a
Validating how
great
you feel.
point.
Number one thing.
It's
is a
great
good
because we're dealing with that this week in our content, actually, about like how you deal with people hurting you. And because we're at the point where we're talking about BTS receiving some of their very first bullying from peers, and a lot of our subscribers are seeing some of it for the first time in full, like the interview with a fellow rapper who insulted them to their face. So that's in our content this week. And BTS, they chose to deal with it by channeling it into their music and not responding to it directly, which was like the healthy way to deal with it. And so that's really great because everybody's kind of relating to that right now. And so it fits in perfectly with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's ways to do that. That is why if you have a platform like BTS does and you can create music, that's the best way to do it. Content creators, or me, sometimes I don't refer myself to a content creator, but I'll create a reel based on something someone said, or to kind of teach a lesson, or you know what I mean? Not teach them a lesson, just to share my thoughts, to educate and teach a lesson. So that's along that lines, and that's important. So using Army Project 529, which has grown so big, which is so awesome, using it for good, right? And honestly, to build up belongingness during this time of void, which we have a little over a year, right? No one's counting.
No, not counting.
Yeah, I was like, nobody, please count. That might not be accurate. Nobody's counting. Yeah. It is so. Can I ask you a question? So how did you make that connection of, you know what, therapy is obviously what I'm gifted at doing, and I have the ability to speak to people in a way that maybe other people don't. And then also finding that in K-drama is a great way to do it. Like, how did you marry those two things together in such just a creative way, and then now that it's become what it has become?
Yeah, first of all, I love this comment. Only 75 more weeks. That doesn't sound too bad. Less than 100 weeks.
There you go.
You know what? It came naturally, just like you fall in love with with music, right? I grew up watching. Well, I wouldn't say grew up. Starting at 18 in 1992, when I first saw my first K-drama, that hit me in the sense of, it's like, think of your first BTS song. Anybody can name it, right? That hit you like a ton of bricks. The first K-drama hit me like a ton of bricks when I was in Seoul in 1992 at Yonsei, 18 years old, doing a summer program, and I saw it on like whether it was like the dorm room or whatever, and I go, what? Oh my God, is that a K-drama? That's like a modern K-drama. Because I was exposed to it growing up, and I never thought much of it. But for the first time, just like when you hear lyrics, you feel seen, heard, validated. I felt seen, heard, and just represented by seeing this K-drama of this cute little girl. Not saying that I thought of myself as cute, but I'm like, I want to be like her, right? And then seeing this guy, like, it was like a love triangle, the typical K-drama. So the love triangle, and she was all fawned over. And then that was the beginning of my own identity journey. So I'm going back to like how you guys identify with songs and the members and the stories, same thing. we're identifying and relating and thinking back about just our own experiences and relating to them, and that parasocial relationship. I love how everyone's so in love with them, but then they have no clue who we are, kind of. I mean, they make you feel like they know you, but they don't know us, right? But so I started bringing K-dramas in a therapy session that was not going good. It was like, oh my God, this is a terrible session. And therapists will tell you that there were some terrible sessions because it's not working, and a family session that was going wrong, that I was like, I got to pivot. They are at each other's throats. And then I just said, you know what? Have you thought about watching this K-drama, or do you guys watch K-dramas? And they were like, the teen was like, no, but yeah, I know them. She got all excited. And the mom's like, what are you talking about? Right? I said, I'm going to assign you this. It shows a father and daughter, but it's similar, mother-daughter concept. I want you to see the conflict. And it first of all changed the dynamic, because they were like, this is interesting homework. But then the following, I think it was like 10 days later, was like a huge change to the session. So I knew I was onto something, going, yeah, you know what? People use movie clips all the time, or like videos. I was like, I myself identify with K-drama so much that it made sense, like, authentically. Does that make sense? So if
totally.
I can't bring in something that doesn't make sense to me. And there are times when I will bring in another song that's not BTS, and I'm like, hey, did you guys hear this song? And like IU song or something. They'll be like, yeah. I go, well, the lyric just reminds of what you just shared. So it's really important to have that authenticity. And then the rest is history. I started bringing it into workshops. I was like, if you're asking me to speak, I'm going to speak on whatever. And then I'll play. I mean, when people are walking the room in corporate America, I'll play Permission to Dance. Because I was like, I go, come on, guys. And they're all like, who's this like funny person speaking, But then it does break the ice when they're like, and I kid you not, some people will be like, so what's this music? I'll be like, and I'll wait. And I'll go, anybody in the audience know who sings this? And then there'll be at least one person.
At least one person?
Yeah, at least one person. But there'll be times I'll be like, oh, wow, you never heard the song? Right? And I'll just keep a deadpan face. But yeah, I'll play Permission to Dance a lot to break the ice, because I think it's a very simple song to do that. But I'm bringing that up because it's authentic to me and what works for me. So I will use pop culture because it's such a big part of our lives, right? Hence, I wrote a book on it. So that's how it came about. It came about naturally, but then I realized this is a great way to talk about mental health.
It's a perfect way. Katie, you had a question, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to ask, so I think I mentioned when we had a chat earlier this week, I have a friend who's a social worker who's very also tuned into mental health. And when I told her about this project, she said that her experience and her understanding of the research was that online communities can be very bad for mental health, but the research has shown that the more you take it offline in some way, it actually improves mental health. And I was curious your take on that. So for example, what we're doing with trying to build a community, if it was just a forum or something like that, that could impact people negatively. Those tend to go poorly. But when you turn it into video calls and sharing thoughts and that kind of thing, it can actually improve your life.
So thank you for that. I would stay neutral on the first comment, because I have found such benefit, particularly in COVID, when you think of teens and students that I worked with in college were extremely depressed because they were isolated, being in their homes, right? What college kid wants to be back at home? I mean, I know my kids did.
Right, mine did not.
But then that online community or their social media helped them. And then when people are advocating for like events or something that they believe in, whether it's political or racial, that online community can help. So I stay neutral on that, because yes, it can be toxic if there's some mean comments, but overall, I don't think we can go black and white on an online community.
That's fair.
Yeah. But I will share this. Of course, there's benefit to offline. I mean, at the end of the day, we are human beings that need to connect. And when we connect, we could do it here, but there's nothing like in person and really seeing what the nonverbal cues and seeing how they look and how they behave. All of that really matters to friendships and building that, I would say, quality connection. So that is another, I'll just give you an example. I have an online community, Noonchi, but this is why there's a reason why I turned it into tours, because the community wanted to see South Korea. It wasn't to see me per se, but then that community offline and on the tours is what has made things special. So I do agree with that latter comment, but the first one I would just stay neutral because I've seen beautiful benefits from an online community, but I've also seen it toxic. And then I'll tell you then, when you doom scroll and it's toxic and it's your platform, you can delete the comment. I say this because I'm like, yes, you're like, oh, I don't want to offend the person or whoever it is, but if it's toxic, toxicity kind of is a ripple effect, just like business.
Yeah.
So when you see that ripple effect and you have control over that and you're the leader, you can stop that toxicity.
That's amazing.
So hopefully that helped you. But
I think we do the best of both worlds. Like you're doing the best of both worlds. You have your online community and you have your in-person stuff, and you're meeting them in both places.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun being in Korea without. And sometimes I'm like, are we really here? You know.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna do that.
BTS tour.
Okay, we gotta let you go because you have an appointment. But
yeah,
let's do this again.
I have 5 minutes.
Oh, you have 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
Get 5 more minutes. Quick, Lisa, do you have a question?
Well, I wanted to, somebody asked in the comments, actually, the K-drama you were talking about earlier, they wanted to know what it was.
The father-daughter or the...
Reply 1988.
Yes, I love that one.
That's a good
That
one.
one's such a good one.
And that's a good one. And then when people are BTS fans, what do you think I'll recommend?
Oh my gosh.
I say hospital playlist, but that's just me.
Hwarang.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think about the video yesterday with IU?
Yeah, did you see that?
Of course I saw it. I
No,
just saw
don't
it
tell me.
actually like 2 hours ago. It's really good. And people are like, BTS, I mean, V needs to be in a K-drama. I'm like, I mean, everyone is pretty talented. IU is a brilliant actress.
She is a brilliant.
I absolutely love her. Yeah, they have some good chemistry. I mean, that was a very deep music video that I had to see it twice.
Yeah.
Going, wait a second. What just happened? What's going on? And then then it's like listening to the music too, you know? So, yeah. I mean, then everyone's like, when's V going to come back in a K-drama? Yeah, that would be the next one. He has quite a personality for it. Not everybody can.
He definitely does.
Acting. Like, I mean, to be honest, RM's my bias. I don't quite see him acting.
No.
Right?
No, I could see him
doing a documentary, like an art documentary, or
he's very, and that's intellectual and pragmatic. But then I was like, yeah, I would love to see you in a K-drama, but I don't see you in one. But V has that personality for one, you know.
100%.
He is like the best. I wanna emulate him a little bit when it comes to moderation, facilitation. He's gonna be like some big, I don't know, he already is, but I meant talk show something. I'm very good at that. And so why am I talking about this? Oh, just talking about them. But that's the K-drama. That's the K-drama I was talking about. But Hwarang is something I always say, you're a BTS fan, you need to see this.
I haven't seen it yet. I've got to watch it.
You know what? It's not the bestest K-drama story. I mean, it's cute. It's like eye candy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's always good from time to time.
I mean,
That's what it
candy
is.
is fun.
Yeah. You can never go wrong.
Yeah.
You still have 3
And
minutes.
they cage your bias. Oh, who do you guys think is the best looking?
Oh no. They were all saying all of them for the most part.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. The answer is
Yeah,
seven.
the answer is yes.
The answer is 7 or purple.
But I do love what you said about how
Fair
sometimes
answer.
your bias
That's a
often
fair
is not the person you think is most like. Suga is my bias, but he's not necessarily the one that I think is the best looking of the group. But I just connect with him, and I think he's just so wise, and I'm so attracted to his brain, which just sounds like I'm
Well, here's the
lying, but
thing.
I'm actually being, very truthful in that.
Yeah.
Is your bias the person you think is most like you, or the person you think you want to be most like?
I've heard that quite a bit, that your bias is the person who you feel the most connection with. And then some people say that your bias wrecker is the person you're most attracted to.
That's interesting. So the
don't know.
biases that I tend to like are the ones that I'm attracted to because they have qualities that are attractive to me that I don't necessarily have.
Yeah, that's what I think is interesting to think about.
Yeah, and then so I can think of my K-drama bias, like they're like, I can tell that they're like super shy and introverted. That's not me, but I'm like, oh, I love them. Do you know what I mean? So it's like something about their presence, RM is technically my bias, but I would say, okay, so I guess I shouldn't say who I think is the best looking then, because you guys are like all of them.
No, you can't. We don't care. We're a safe space.
I think Jin is the best looking.
Worldwide handsome for a reason.
Yeah, for a reason. Yep.
Oh, hold on. I want to look at these comments before I
Jim
go.
would absolutely agree with you too.
Who would?
Jim would
Jim.
absolutely agree with you.
I mean, I know when he says it, I'm like, stop saying it. Just stop saying it.
Let us
you
say
know?
it for you.
Yeah. Hold on. But and then my husband's bias is B.
Yeah.
I
My
think so,
husband's
'cause I think he
B,
just
yep.
thinks he's cute and
That's a club.
yeah. I mean, I think everybody, but then probably the most I think depth wise is Suga, right?
Yes.
So and even then I told you that what that's on my list of things to analyze is amygdala.
Yes, I
Just to
want
hope in
to.
now,
When
but
you
I'll
do
wait
that,
till
I'll be all over
I'll
that.
wait till he's out of, or maybe I'll wait till he's hit the first anniversary of that song or something. But
Well,
it's on my
you know
list.
what? We're gonna do a Sugar month.
Oh, okay.
I want to have you come back and do that when we do our Sugar
Definitely
month.
want
That would
that.
be
Yeah, because
amazing.
do you know when it first came out, I got inspired and then I got distracted by K-dramas and stuff.
Yeah.
When he was first talking about it, I go, you are on the cusp of understanding. So he understands the emotion part of it, but I was like, oh, but let me help you with the psychology part of it.
Yes.
The actual intellect science part of it. That might help him, but maybe I'll tell him that in person someday. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
That would be amazing.
our broad plan is to go through.
Yeah.
Our broad plan is to go through BTS Story to Today as a group, and then do like a month or at least a few weeks each on each of their solo albums, and kind of talk through that. So when we get there, which I don't think we know exactly when, we'd love to talk to you again.
Yeah. And now I
sooner.
do have to go. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, we'll make sure. I'll tell everybody about your book,
so
your
much
Patreon,
for
and
coming.
all of my
Yes,
comments.
please, yes, have me again. This was so much fun. I just want to end with, even with all the work I do, I also need a community. So it's so nice when I could talk like this. This is what fuels me. It helps me. And Stephanie, you know, I'm going to go into a tough session now. So I'm like, this helps me. So thank you so much.
Anytime. We're here. Anytime you
Anytime.
want a community, we're here for you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
All
much.
Stick
Yes.
around, guys.
Thank
We've got more
you.
to say.
Thank you so
Good
much.
luck.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Love her. Okay.
All
Let's
right.
see. That was so great, you guys.
We're trying. Yes,
There we go. That was amazing.
That was so much fun.
Just like,
What did you
I would
guys
go to
think?
her
Let us know in
every
the
day of the week.
comments.
that was
Yeah,
amazing.
I saw good comments. I don't think I saw any bad comments, at least.
I saw all sorts of amazing things that you guys were saying. Thank you, Jocelyn.
Mm-hmm.
I saw so many
I
happy
really wish I
things.
could read the comments while I was doing it, but I was like I was so into it.
So many people-
Okay, so does somebody? I think that the thing that I love about what just happened was everything that she said, whether it wasn't even necessarily her intent, is so about who we are and what we're trying to do, right? I mean, it just the mental health aspect of it, the connection part of it, the positivity part of it. It's just, I don't
like
know.
we're
It
not
just makes my heart really
professionals,
happy.
but we can
I love
help
her.
people connect, and we also want that connection for ourselves. So this is it's all beneficial.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
I love her. I want to be her
that
when I grow up.
I really liked about her is that's the whole vibe. That is the vibe. You know, as she was talking, and she was so enthusiastic and very generous with sharing her knowledge. I mean, that's the whole vibe that we're going for. And so it was just, it's so fun to find and connect with other people that are like, oh yes, that's it. That's the vibe. I recognize it. I couldn't maybe describe it to you, but I know it when I hear it and see it.
Yeah. Well, and it also made me feel good to know, because you look at somebody like her and you think, oh, she's got, she does have it all together, but she needs the connection too. Like she needs it from people just as much as we need. Like you guys,
We're
it
all
just
human,
confirms
man.
what we all feel. Everybody needs it. Everybody wants it.
Yes.
And if you can provide it in a loving, safe environment and where we all just are in this together and it's just mind blowing for me. It's just amazing. It really is amazing. Speaking of connection, so I don't know if Patricia can talk. Can somebody tell everybody?
Yeah,
about the
I
map?
can talk.
Oh, you
Okay,
can.
good.
I'm actually hiding in my bathroom because my radiator went off, but I can talk.
I wanted people
So,
to know about the map
yeah.
in case they don't so far.
So we put together a map in our website that actually shows where all the armies that have like entered their information are and their social media handles. And kind of like we put it together because we wanted people to be able to like find other armies that might be, make it easier than finding an army in the wild.
Turn this around
And
so
kind
people
of
can see
finding
it.
them through the map.
Can you guys see that? That's what she's
And you
talking
can see
about.
all the little army bombs. Bye bias. with the bias colors.
Yep.
It's really pretty. We had some problems in the middle because we had to kind of figure out how to put people in the same spot, but not on top of each other. But now it's fixed.
that
And
makes me so happy.
if you
Please
haven't
answer.
joined, if you haven't joined, please join. Just like put your information in the forum and we'll add you to the map.
Yep. Yep. It's all about
And,
connecting. It's
yeah,
about helping
it's a
you find
story.
people that are close to you. And if you can't, hey, if there's nobody that's close to you, kind of the next phase in this, I think, what we're kind of talking about is finding ways you can still get connected with people that, aren't even necessarily close to you. That's what it's there for.
Meet
Find
people
some
in
people
other
that
countries.
interest you.
Yeah. Meet people in other
Yeah.
places. Maybe it's someplace you've never been before, but you want to know about it.
Yes.
Reach out to somebody,
Pen pal. You could make a pen pal in a place you've always
Pals,
wanted to
yes.
Yep.
Who doesn't love getting mail that isn't like a bill or like some sort of advertisement? It's so nice when something like actually like really fun shows up in your mailbox, right?
I would
like
encourage
mine
that anyway. I mean, have people that are close to you, but I almost want to reach out to somebody in a place that I have never been, never thought I might be able to go and get to know what it's like being a fan there and what, make that connection
There's
and kind of
somebody in
bridge that
Greenland.
gap.
There's somebody in Greenland. We should reach out to them.
Totally.
Yes, Sam, we do want to
And-
come to Australia and visit you.
Yes, we are coming to Australia one day. Yes.
Auntie Cece says she wants a pen pal, so we need to get her a pen pal.
Well, and now we all know
Yeah.
because we've been talking about wanting to take a trip to South Korea. Now we know we do it with Jeannie and her
Yes.
and her tours that she does. That'll be amazing.
Here's the thing: when we take a trip, like
got-
I'm not the
Jeannie's
trip
got
planner.
some
I just
BTS
want to show
cred.
up.
What, Katie?
I said when we take a trip, like with my family, extended family, I don't want to plan. I just want to show up and have someone tell me what to do. So
Yes, that's always so nice.
Yeah. That's going to be Jeannie. And before I forget, I just want to say real quick, Ray, before we get too far and talk about other things, go to Jeannie's page on TikTok. It's Noona's Noonchi, which is NOONANOONCHI. Yeah, I want to make sure I got it right. And it has a link. She's got a book coming out that you can pre-order, and she talks about K-dramas and mental health. She's got her Patreon channel. She's got tons of content that she's done, interviews she's done. She's got just so much great stuff there. She talks about the tours, and if you want to look into tours, just go find her. I'm going to follow her on Patreon. I already did, actually, before we started. I went ahead and followed her on Patreon. So go make sure you check her out and support her because she's
good
special
people.
Yeah, she's
Sonic
special.
Jen
people.
says she's going on her September tour.
Oh my God, I'm jealous.
I'm so jealous.
Sonic Jen, we had a conversation with her, just a pre-call like before this earlier this week, and she mentioned that on her tour, like it's not a tour for armies, but she said all the time there's armies on it. So
Yep.
You're
going to be in good company. And she said that she takes you by Hybe.
I mean, you have to, right?
I don't know about that tour specifically, but she said on her tour she does.
Yeah, maybe not that one specifically, but yeah, I'm very Patreon. The link is in her bio. So if you'll go to her bio on her page here on TikTok, she's got something that will take you and it shows you all the different stuff that you can see about her and you can sign up for all that stuff. Yeah.
And she's primarily on Instagram, so you can
Yes.
also follow her there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found her on Instagram long before I found her on TikTok. She's really big over there.
Mm-hmm.
She's just amazing.
She really is.
You know what is really
trying to find a way to connect with people. I mean, like she said, like we feel with music or we see with a music video or the fact that she's able to do that with K-dramas and really help people make sense of their own predicament or their own situation, and you can see that character's way out of it or the way that they do things, whether in a healthy way or an unhealthy way. To me, it's powerful because I love story.
It's important to be able to connect with people through medium that means something to them, because you could sit in a therapist's office and kind of just have them like drone at you, but that doesn't mean it's going to mean anything. But if somebody can connect with you over something that you already like understand or enjoy, that's going to make the message so much more impactful. I mean, that's why we have music therapists and things like that, because it's real. It means something. That's why, like people go to the hospital and like play music or tell jokes to sick kids, is because entertainment connects people and it can help mental health a lot.
And it's self-care. It's
Yes,
not a
it
guilty
is
pleasure.
self-care.
I love
I
that.
love that she called it self-care. Like I mean, wow.
Yeah. It's not a guilty pleasure. And we're so trained to believe that taking time for something that we enjoy is something that our society routinely shames us for.
I was gonna say, is it
we're-
time to
we're-
rant about the patriarchy? Because I'm here for
Yeah,
it.
I'm here to always rant about the patriarchy. It's
I'm
the
here.
patriarchy.
Once again,
I will rail against the patriarchy.
I
But
love Steve Aoki even more because he knows about the patriarchy.
Oh,
yes, but we have
are you
societies like that.
in the comments? Are you reading the comments? There's somebody that just like in Malaysia that just met somebody through the map and they're getting together. Yay!
That's awesome.
We're
That makes my
celebrating
heart
it.
so happy.
Make sure
I've
you
tried to
guys
share
take
them.
pictures, and if you're comfortable sharing, please share them on social media and tag us.
If not, at least
We
get in the
would
comments
love
somewhere
to
and
see
tell
the
us.
pictures.
Yes.
When I see the comments,
Or
I
just a
screenshot
comment,
them and
if
I
you don't
share them
want
with the admin team. And when we're sitting there ripping our hair out over something not working right or we're tired, we literally have a spot where we save those little comments and like go
Yes.
refresh
Yes.
ourselves with like, there's a reason you're doing this.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
You guys are really like the people in the comments, those of you that are putting comments out there that are making videos that are doing like you're the fuel for us, because sometimes you get so bogged down in the work part of it that you lose sight of the effect that it's having. And so when you guys interact with us, it only feeds us and we're like, okay, we are doing something. Okay, this is great. We are building networks. We are building community. We are loving on each other. And that's the goal of the whole freaking thing.
Because
Yes,
we know we're
occasionally-
not shouting into the void, but
I was gonna say,
sometimes we
sometimes
just
it
need
feels
that
like I'm standing at the
reminder.
edge of the cliff screaming.
Right.
There.
Yeah.
Sometimes
And you know, we are so lucky because, you know, I think that before I was in like the project, for me it was like kind of like every night at least I needed to watch a little bit of BTS. I know I have like the perfect excuse, you know, it's like I cannot get away from it.
Well, and I love
It
that
is
she
nice
talked
having
about,
an
you know, like the
excuse.
daily self-care, because I feel like in a way that's what we're doing with a daily content for them to kind of, that can be part of a personal day. If diving into the content and seeing the guys and seeing what they're doing is going to make you feel better every day, then that is self-care.
yeah.
And
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
that's
one of my
amazing.
favorite things about what she said today was rephrasing your fangirling basically into, instead of treating it like it's some kind of guilty pleasure or something to be ashamed about, it's something that you should be proud about and talk about how it's bettering you. And that falls back into something I talk with my patients on a regular basis, is words of self affirmation actually hold a health impact upon you. When you speak negative words over yourself, it literally physically weakens you. And when you speak words of strength over yourself, of self affirmation, if you look in the mirror and you tell yourself all the good things about how you look that day, instead of the negative, nitpicky things about how you look that day, you go about your day in a much more powerful, much healthier, much stronger manner. And it's the same when talking about BTS or any other group you fan, is if you're approaching it from a, oh, I'm ARMY, please don't hate me, or you know, don't judge me kind of concept, then you're gonna weaken your own self in that attitude and that behavior. Whereas
yeah,
if you
Jocelyn
approach
talked
it
about this the other
like,
day in a
this is
video,
what
didn't
they
she? She
do
called
for
it something
me.
like sprinkle she
Jocelyn,
was
you're-
making the point that like if you kind of go into
seek the
your day
shimmer.
looking for the positive, that's what you're going to find.
Yeah,
You're going to
seek
find
the
positive.
shimmer.
Shimmer. There you go, shimmer.
Shimmer.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Is this
Yes.
the same Jocelyn here? Yeah, it is. Okay,
Yes.
just checking.
Yeah. Yeah. Seek the
The
sparkle. Yep.
sparkle. There we go. Yeah.
Sparkle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was close.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you know, they always used to joke like when you never really notice pregnant people until you're pregnant and then everybody around you looks pregnant, or you never notice a certain kind of car until you're about to get that kind of car and then you see them everywhere. It's kind of like that. It's like, what are you looking for? If you're looking to be upset about something and you're to be offended or to be whatever, that's what you're going to find, right? But if your intention every day is, you know what, I'm going to go try, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be positive to other people. Then it totally makes, I mean, I love that whole idea. And I like the idea of starting the day that way so that
I
you don't
love
have to
the
adjust.
idea of mental health self-care. I think it's an absolutely brilliant moniker to call it self-care. The things that make you happy, the things that are good for your mental health, because it really will just make you a better person. Back to what you said, one thing my mom always said was, if you find yourself at the end of the day and all you've encountered all day long are a bunch of bitches and sons of bitches, guess who's the real one? It's you. If the only people you encounter are negative or hateful or whatever, then maybe look inside and figure out, what am I projecting that's getting that response back? And so, just changing the mindset to a self-care, a mental health hygiene is such a powerful concept, because it can start your day in a way that's more powerful and uplifting. And then the people you encounter are going to feed that same stuff back to you. And you are going to find yourself just having a much better, more happy, self-fulfilling day. And I love that.
And I think it's like too, it's like bathing, right? I mean, I think it's like bathing, and the whole concept of like, if you're around people and they make you feel about yourself or about the world or whatever, the people around you, then get the hell away from them, right? I mean, that's just going to make you weigh you down. I mean, the thing that I've learned about this, which I've always loved positive people anyway, but the thing I think is so great about the team and about the community that's being built with this is we're always focused on the positive. We're loving on people. We're helping people make connection. We are making connection. We are having conversations that might be difficult. We are putting ourselves out there. You are putting yourselves out there, telling stories, being honest and vulnerable about where you're at and how you're feeling. All of that stuff is empowering to yourself and to everybody who you're talking to, rather than the opposite, which is, we're just going to drag you down. We're going to be negative, and then that just depletes you. Right?
Yeah.
When
It's like
ever wanted
self-directed
BTS
therapy.
and been depleted? It fills you with
But
joy.
it's also learning to be gentle to yourself sometimes. It's like we tend to kind of like drive ourselves crazy, or like talk negatively to ourselves about ourselves so many times. And it's like, be gentle to yourself. Treat yourself properly.
And I
You want
was
other
gonna
people
say-
to treat you properly, treat yourself properly, and then the rest will come to you. That's the way that I see
That's
it.
true.
And the gentleness is it doesn't mean, when we say like redirect yourself towards positivity, it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to have a bad day, because we're all allowed to have bad days. And it's great to be positive, but I always say, you don't want to swing around into toxic positivity where you don't want to allow yourself to feel any sort of negativity, because it's natural. We're human. It's going to happen. We're going to get sad. We're going to be angry sometimes. We're going to be scared. And that's okay. The important thing is how you deal with it and how you say, okay, this is where I am right now, but that doesn't mean that this is where I have to be like 5 hours from now or tomorrow. You know, and it's okay to feel it, but knowing how to get away from it is the best.
Patricia said, don't let it get to a place where you're berating yourself internally. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend or a loved one.
And also, like, what you were saying about, that we all have bad days. There's going to be a day that it's a bad day. But I think those days are the most important, where you have to kind of reward yourself somehow, that you have to give yourself something positive to kind of brighten the day. I do that a lot. And it might be something really stupid. It might be something that is like, well, you know what? I had a horrible day. It was a really, really bad day. But, I'm going to sit and watch this concert because it makes me happy, and that's my reward. And I might not do the dishes that day, but,
I'm having a really bad day.
I love about the guys. The guys are always, it's a lot of positivity, but they do show when they argue. They do show their bad moments. They do show those weaknesses. And again, I think it shows you, we only love them more for it, right? For the authenticity of it. So they don't put on the show that things are perfect all the time. I think we have to give each other the benefit of the doubt that you're allowed to be vulnerable. You're allowed to be authentic, and we'll still love and accept you just where you are.
That doesn't sometimes feel like social media rewards that, does it?
No, it
because
doesn't.
sometimes it feels like on social media, it's the clap back that gets the likes. And you get into that mindset where it's like, well, I got to be quick about this. I got to respond to this. And I found that just by stepping back and just breathing a little bit, talking to you guys on Discord and saying, hey, am I getting this right? Am I in the right mind frame? And you guys are like, yeah, you know what? Maybe we should just ignore it. You know, maybe we should just glance over that. And
I
I
have to
find
live
that
with myself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
exactly. But I
Exactly
find
right.
that makes my social media experience and my experience in this community so much better because it's just feels so much more positive to do that. And
Well,
it's hard. It's hard because you have to find people that are that also want to have that same experience.
Right.
and we've talked back to what Patricia said the other day ago. Another thing you can do when you're having a bad day is pop on here or on Discord or somewhere and say, I'm having a bad day. I need someone to sit with me virtually. And
Punch the couch.
Yeah.
punch the couch too. But yeah, sometimes you
Yeah,
just need
Punch the couch.
you just
I
need
mean,
somebody to be with you.
Like Leslie did yesterday. She said she was having a bad day and she got a whole bunch of DMs of happy videos.
And it's not about glossing over your bad day. It's just about saying, I'm here. I care about you.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Or even like it's like for me, one thing that really works is like energy. Like it's like punch the couch, go for a long walk, go for a swim. Like just like take the bad energy out of your body somehow. You know?
Yeah. I'm a walker.
Yeah.
I'm a swimmer.
Well, now that BTS content has officially been ranked as self-care, I mean, we're all,
We're
I
winning.
mean,
We're winning at life.
It's over the
therapeutic
counter though,
laugh.
right, Doc?
We're writing
It's
self-care
always
every
over the
week.
counter.
Where's the trophy? Where's the trophy? Give me.
I know. Well, I
That's
felt
right,
that way
Becca.
anyway because I felt like, in watching a lot of Lisa, when you're writing those Bangtan bubbles, some of them, yeah, they're funny and they're cute and they're fun and whatever, but there are some, and I've seen some of the most beautiful videos based on those because they're allowing people to kind of look at themselves, look at the world, look at their place in the world, process that. And the fact that they are willing to not only go through that process, but to do it in a public manner is, I think for you, Lisa, it has to be like one of the most beautiful things because you're kind of trusting and putting that little Bangtan bubble out there in the world that people are going to give it the space kind of that it deserves. And it's changing lives. I mean, people are actually really looking at themselves and making choices to better understand themselves. That's a powerful thing, even though it's just like some little graphic, right?
Yeah.
There's power behind that.
Yeah, I really, when we came up with the idea of the Bangtan bubble, and by the way, that was a joint thing with Steph and Doc and I. We came up with the Bangtan bubble. I thought to myself, what's the best way that it could make an impact? And I didn't want it to all be funny. I didn't want it to all be, like what's your favorite BTS moment? I didn't want it, and I also didn't want it to all be introspective, but I thought that introspective was important because we do obviously get so much out of BTS. And when we consume their content, it makes us think things about ourselves. And if we are building this community, the best part of a community is being able to support each other and discovering those things about ourselves. Some people can't afford therapy. It's not cheap.
Right.
And so, but self-care is free. And that's what we can offer. And so I think that any little way that I can help, it helps me too. And I think it helps all of it. Any way that I can help somebody think about something a little bit differently or just discover something about themselves, through BTS and this project, it does. It means the world.
Free therapy. Yeah.
Happiness went deep. It is self-directed therapy. Absolutely. It took me 15
Yes.
minutes to answer that question. And I don't even think I covered everything I wanted to say, but it was therapeutic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, to even ask that question, like I haven't even answered that one yet, not because I'm scared of it, but because I'm like, originally I was like, well, yeah, I'm happy. It's kind of like, whatever. But I was like, that it kind of does. Okay, well, what does happiness mean to you? What does it, it makes you kind of process things that maybe I hadn't really thought of. I mean, I am very happy actually,
I
and I'm
haven't
very,
answered that one either yet.
yeah, I haven't done it yet. I'm like, I don't even know. I
thinking
need the
about it.
time to really sit down and process that one because I think it's more than just a simple yes, no, as people are showing and doing the videos.
Yeah.
I
That's
might not
true.
do that one for 3 weeks. I mean, who
Yeah.
knows,
It's true. And Caitlin just said, I don't know the answer to that one. And you might not know the answer. And maybe it's something that like we think about for a while, and who knows, maybe 6 months from now you can pick that bank time bubble up and be like, yeah, I don't know if you guys remember back in January, but I'm going to
Yeah.
answer that one right now. And that's fine.
Yeah.
And we said to ourselves, even as an admin team, like, guys, we don't have to do every single bubble every single day. I mean, for one thing, you guys are going to get tired of seeing us, but for another thing, like, you don't always, like, if something doesn't resonate with you, or if it's not resonating right now, like, don't do it. Do it later, or never do it. It's fine.
Right. Right.
I think also
Right,
for me, I'm looking
there's
forward,
no
we're only,
timeline.
oh, sorry, Doc.
So with her bubble comment, there's no timeline on getting through the content, and there's no timeline on answering the Bangtan bubbles. Like somebody had said, they're thinking about even starting the Bangtan bubbles, and there's no pressure on when you start them, if you do them all, if you only ever answered a single bubble, and there's no pressure because at the end of the day, this experience or this project is about connection. And whether you find that connection in answering the Bangtan bubbles just to yourself, or if you find it in answering them on Discord or making a video, at the end of the day, it's about connection. And that's the goal, is that connection. And so if you do find yourself answering the January bubbles in August, that's fine and that's amazing, and we will absolutely love seeing January bubbles being answered in
Yes.
August, because
I'll
that's when
probably be
you're
like, I
ready
forgot I
to
wrote that.
answer them.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think Doc and I were on the same wavelength. Like, I think our dream is that the blogs that we're making right now, even though we're only 4 weeks into it, are a baby army 6 months from now, or a year from now, or maybe even 2 years from now, will find their way to the beginning of the trail and go down the journey. And we'll be getting their bubbles then. And that would be even cooler.
Totally.
That's my, Delulu dream.
That
So yeah,
would
there's
be
no
amazing.
timeline.
I don't think it's a Delulu dream. I think that's the reality of this. Everyone, it's just like BTS in general. Everybody says, we say, you find them when you need them. And people are going to find those Bangtan bubbles. They're going to find this content. They're going to find this connection when they need it. And that could be tomorrow. That could be in 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know.
We don't know. But yeah, that's why we're doing that journey together. It's not just for these 529 days.
Yeah.
Yes, Amy, there is one of the very first questions was about when you became Army, right?
I think that was week
Yes.
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's in there.
Yep.
Anyone
so if you just
having
search the
Discord
hashtag
trouble?
Bangtan Bubble on Instagram, I mean on any of them, but TikTok, you'll find a bunch of those. Yeah.
Yeah, search the hashtag. That's something we do also when we're having a not great day. Is sometimes we just go on social media and we search the hashtags of Bangtan Bubble and the project hashtag, and it gives us a lot of the good feels.
I mean, I don't live in a world where obviously I think that everybody's just going to be positive and happy all the time and everybody's going to treat each other fabulously and all that. But I think that what our goal is to be at least part of that, the good part of the day, right? Like there might be a bunch of crap going on, but you're going to sit down at some point, pull up today, and you're going to get to watch some fun content or great content and learn a little bit. And you're going to be reminded, okay, yeah, this is a good, happy place for me. And, at the end of the day, like who can ask for more than that, right? That you're somebody that you help create someone's good place.
I literally talked about that in my 15-minute rant today on TikTok of like when I go to bed at night, one of the things to think about is that I help somebody else feel good about themselves. That's one of the things that brings me joy.
Right. And it's not just the 6 of us on admin. I mean, it's the people that are creating the content, and it's the people that are making, I mean, every little person that puts, and even the people that are just doing the content themselves, even if you're doing it in private and never sharing it, that's still part of this whole journey. And I think in some way, it connects us all, regardless of whether or not you're ready at this point to put yourself out there, or if you ever are.
But even if you journal it, even if it's
right.
not for us.
Right. I mean, it's just all just a really beautiful,
Because at the end
encouraging
of the
thing.
day, if all you're doing is journaling it to yourself, going through those emotions and working through that process ultimately is going to benefit you from a self-care standpoint, and then what you will put out will be happier, and so what you will receive will be happier. And so again, it's all a journey. It's all back to that mental hygiene, that emotional hygiene, to find yourself in a better place at the end of the day and not lost in the void we were all dropped into in December. And
Right.
so like that's the ultimate goal, is that everybody in their own way and in their own manner comes along on this journey of love, because that's all the boys ever taught us is they've taught us to love and to find a way to love ourselves. And so if
Yeah.
you can find a way to love yourself through this project, whether anybody else knows about it but yourself, then it's all worth it in the end.
Yeah, to love others,
It's
you have to
all
love yourself. And I'd say to love
There,
yourself, you have to understand yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was a great quote I saw when because I taught at a university for many years, and there was a great quote from a professor who said, "It's okay if you only save one person in this whole world, and it's also okay if that one person is yourself."
It's true.
And I just think that is, I always go back to that. And that it is okay if the person you save is you.
It's very true. There's a reason they tell you to put your own mask
I was going to say the same
on
thing.
first. They tell you to put your mask on first on the plane before you help anybody else.
So I was thinking the same thing, but I was like, I know I'm not going to say it. That's amazing.
It's
yeah, I'm the
true.
one I should love. That's exactly right, Nikita. That's exactly
Yes,
right.
Nikita.
It's beautiful. What a great night, you guys.
Yeah.
So great.
Jeannie
I
was
mean,
awesome.
I would just want to sit on Noona's couch constantly. I would just be like,
I
"You're
know.
in again. You want to impart
I'm
your
gonna
wisdom?"
go. I'm gonna go binge all her
Yeah.
videos. I
I
had
know,
to
I
watch
do too.
watch
This is
a
us.
few.
This is
and
us
I
with
was
Noona.
oh man.
Yeah.
I'm getting a book. I'm
We were
gonna
just
become like the obsessed fan.
Speaking of fangirling, that's what we were doing.
I'm here.
With no, but her content is so great.
It's so good.
Yeah, and it was
And I
so
love that she gets
timely
us.
that she worked out coming on this week with what we were talking about in the content
Yeah.
and how everybody's been feeling for the last month. And and launching this project wasn't easy, and we've had, thankfully, like mostly like super supportive community around us, but it's hard. And so it was really great to hear her words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just I want to pick her brain long term, even though there was no time, because
I know.
she's just brilliant, and I love the way she approaches mental health in taking the stigma off and turning it into hygiene. It's a basic level of care for yourself, just like we brush our teeth and take a shower and get dressed every day. We should be focusing on mental health hygiene and becoming a better, more positive, just more an improved version of ourselves, the best version of ourselves we can be, and allowing ourselves to enjoy the things that help us become a better version of ourselves is just basic mental hygiene. And I absolutely love that take on it, that approach to it. And I'm probably going to be using her concepts myself with patients of my own.
Well, and I saw that I saw a comment that I wanted to respond to when someone said, there's a lot of, oh, here we go. I love all the positivity. Unfortunately, Army brings hypocrisy, homophobia, delusions. You're going to find people like that in every community, no matter what it is. And I think that, again, goes back into the intentionality of where you put your focus and your time. Turn that stuff off. I started just turning all that off, whether they're Army or whether they're not. If they're negative or toxic, block them, mute them, don't watch them. And surround yourself and watch the content that's going to be uplifting and feed your spirit versus drain you. And I think it makes a huge difference. Not that you can always avoid it. I'm not saying you can always avoid it, but we do have some power over that. And I think we can take some of that power back.
Yeah, for
And,
sure.
been part of multiple fandom ever since the 80s. I started as a girl who loved Star Wars back in the 80s, and I can tell you
For sure.
every fandom
Yes.
every fandom has issues.
Yep.
And the
What's
bigger
the Star Wars
fandom,
fandom drama?
yeah,
So
the
much
bigger
drama.
Oh, there's
the
so
bigger
much.
the fandom, the
Even
more
Stardust.
Doc's like, oh,
people.
I know it.
Yeah. And I feel like
Bro,
I
I'm a
so much
nerd.
agree with what Stephanie's saying, is that you have the ability to not put that into your ear holes and your eye holes, you know?
Yeah.
Just don't put it
Yep.
in there.
Christina doesn't talk a lot, but when she does, it's hard truth.
It really is. She likes to drop the bombs, man.
She does. She likes to like skirt in real quick at the last minute.
It's like, don't put that in your ear
She's
hole.
like, drop,
God.
walk out.
Don't put your eyeballs on it.
And then
Don't let
here's the thing. I'm already seeing it right now. I'm already picturing all the Macnays in my little group right here are already thinking, well, what about Star Wars? How do we go through that? I'm already seeing AI Star Wars crap all over. I mean, there's no telling what's coming down
You're
the
not-
road.
You think that we don't
Hey,
nerd
hey,
out
listen.
about shit on a daily basis, because we do. We have
We
a
have a
whole
nerd
group.
chat, okay?
We have a
And
whole
it's already
nerd chat.
there. It's already there.
It's
The
coming.
whole
It's
Mac
coming. I
nerd
know it's
chat.
coming.
Yeah.
Dude, bro,
Yeah.
the stuff that's in the line from the nerd chat
Yoda.
is a lot.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
happens when you work with a bunch of nerds.
Yes.
Yeah,
Caitlin,
for some
we both
reason
had that Doctor Who meltdown. Yes.
Yeah.
So their lightsabers are our army bombs. Is how that works, right? We all have our little,
Oh, I love that.
I mean, if it says anything about my level of nerd, I immediately called that cube the Borg. So,
Leslie, look at Leslie's comment.
Well,
Jungi's
no,
Yoda.
And I got
That's
really
priceless.
mad too. I was like, so the alien wins? That's how we're
Yeah,
ending
no,
this.
right?
Alien wins.
No, don't tell me. I'm going to
she
film my
said it's
reaction right
a
after this.
sequel.
I'm gonna cry again if we bring up that
No,
music
I'm
video.
gonna
I've
watch
cried
it
every
right
time I've
after this.
watched it.
I
Yellow
can't.
card.
I know. I had to stop. I tried to watch some of my favorite reactors reacting to it, and I couldn't. I was just sobbing the entire time. And I was like, okay, apparently I need some time.
Well, guys, it's not just
Even
us.
the
I
most
showed two of
stoned
my friends last
reactors
night who are
cried.
not Army at all. They bawled their eyes out watching it. And one of them was like, I don't even know what she's saying. But it's like the set. I was like, I know.
I'm gonna try not to
I'll
cry.
buy the song. I'll support the song. But if I listen to it, I'm going to cry because I'm going to picture the video. I'm going to cry.
It is
Also,
so
why
good,
is that
Leslie.
song not on Spotify yet?
It is.
No,
I
it's on
checked last
Spotify
night.
yet.
I
Yeah.
checked last night. It
I
wasn't.
don't think
Did they
Eileen's
put it
here,
up
but she
today?
posted that it's #1 everywhere. IU got an all kill. She got #1 on like everything today.
That's
So they
amazing.
did finally upload it. Because when I checked the day the music video dropped, the song itself was not on IU Spotify.
I checked today and it
So
wasn't
they've
there
added
either
it
because I thought the
since.
same thing.
Yeah, I checked last night and it still wasn't there.
Yeah.
At like 2 a.m, I was trying to listen to that song to go to sleep and it was not there.
Well, we
But
all have to
Caitlin said it
prepare
dropped
ourselves
at
because
4 a.m. EST.
Tay's going to
So
come
there you
back
go.
and he's going to be a dual threat and he's going to be a singer and an actor and he's going to win all the awards. I'm telling you right now.
A dual threat. He's like a quadruple.
Okay, so we had a 48-hour lead. So it
threat.
is up there now. Thank
Oh,
you
it
guys.
is up there now?
I
Oh,
appreciate
God. Now I'm
y'all.
going to cry.
It's adding to my like list as soon
Yeah.
as I
All right.
get out this call.
Doc and Christina, for future admin in the soup, we need to record ourselves with colored army bombs reenacting the lightsaber fights.
Oh, Lord. Here it comes.
I have the high ground.
It's coming. It's coming.
And we need to get Leslie in for her sweet kick.
They're going to spend 7 hours making this video. You do realize, right? Like, this is
You know what? I have
They'll be like,
endless.
why didn't that thing happen? Well,
Exactly, Emily. You are my brother. I love
love. Yeah, I have endless love for nerd stuff and zero
It's
embarrassment.
going to be
so-
Jimmy.
I have the
It
high
is
ground.
so 95s.
Yeah.
You can't send the Macne line on a nerd rabbit hole.
God, I'm gonna be on it.
We will follow
Stay away.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I can feel it now.
I'm scared.
Leslie, you're in for doing more kicks on the internet. Is that okay?
I'm scared.
I think I might have a Darth
Yes.
Vader helmet, so maybe I can record something too.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's reminding me of our hospital
Perfect.
playlist too.
Oh my
It
God.
solves so many
Wait,
problems.
leave a comment if
Stop
you've seen
talking
hospital
dirty
playlist.
to me, Patricia.
Don't threaten us with a good time, Patricia.
I do have a helmet.
I'm getting my
borrow
cards
it.
ready. Okay, getting the cards ready.
Hey, so we're about
Emily's
to get a
got Star
comment.
Wars
Somebody's gonna have
tattoos.
to stay on the
Oh.
live. Isn't this about BTS? It is. It is. We can relate anything to BTS. That's our skill.
That's right.
Yeah, it really
That
is a
is
skill.
right.
Give us
See,
challenge
that-
us.
Not
Challenge
only
us.
is it
Give
a
us-
skill,
Ooh.
it is self-care.
New series.
You know
the
what?
7 Degrees of BTS. How can we relate
Yes.
anything to BTS?
Exactly. Give us anything, and we'll
Oh
figure
my
out how to
gosh.
relate.
Or like the Wikipedia
7
thing, where you
Degrees to
click on links.
BTS sounds like the greatest game ever.
It really
Oh,
does. Now I'm thinking 7. Yeah.
Look at Katie. She's making an Asana task right now for it.
Katie's putting it on our to-do list. There it is.
Yeah,
I just got the order.
the Kevin Bacon,
Yes,
the Kevin
yes.
Bacon game for BTS.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Relate
thinking?
Kevin Bacon to BTS.
It won't take that
I
long.
don't think that one's hard. I
No,
don't
like,
think Kevin
it's
Bacon
hard.
to BTS wouldn't
Do you
take
remember,
that. I don't think it would take 7 degrees.
Who
No,
saw my
prob-
big fat Greek wedding? You know the dad in my big who's like, give me any word, and I tell you why it's Greek.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. Give me any word, and I tell you why it's BTS.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, Jocelyn just said bacon. Just bacon itself is already BTS.
It is.
I think that's a single degree because I guarantee we've got a video somewhere of them fuckers eating bacon. So
my God. Becca, do not encourage this behavior. Do not encourage this behavior.
BTS
Becca,
Marvel
yes,
characters.
fine.
Becca, we have
Oh, Lord.
plans.
Yes,
We have
Windex
plans for
does
future
heal
months.
everything. That's another
Windex
great my
is-
big fat Greek
Put
one.
some Windex
I
on.
just
Those are just fat
I have an
down.
image in my head right now. I'm having an image of like Darth Vader's cape going like the wings in Black Swan.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. They are not going to bed tonight, you guys. Just know. Just know. They are not going to bed. They are going to be
I
up all
dare
night on
Chad's
Discord
gonna
talking
blow
about this.
up.
Oh my gosh.
Those should not be left alone with our own
Yeah.
brains.
I'm going to wake up in the morning with, and all I'm going to see is like 6 hours of conversation that has happened. And they're going to be like, Stephanie, don't come in here yet. Don't come in here yet.
No, we'll take it to our nerd chat. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
don't
fine.
worry.
It's
We'll
fine.
keep
we
it contained.
we
we'll keep it
protect the rest
contained
of
in our-
you. We protect the rest of you. We have your best.
We don't
interests at heart.
Yeah, we don't expose the Hyung line to the level of nerd that the Magnes
I feel like I'm missing
exhibit.
out. I feel like I'm missing out.
No, you're not.
You
Trust
probably
me.
wouldn't understand.
Honestly, it's mostly Lord of the Rings gifts.
It really
I mean, the nerd chat is called the Fellowship of the Ring, so like it's a lot of Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Nobody.
It all counts. It all counts as self-care. It
And a
all
lot of Doctor Who.
Yes. KB said that pork belly is high level bacon, and I have to say that I agree with
It
that.
is in
That's
fact-
true.
It is in fact.
See?
It's like bacon at a next level.
I would
Yeah.
challenge us to do
Chronicles
like
of
2
Narnia,
or 3
Becca.
degrees.
Becca's just throwing out all kinds of possible.
I
You
do
guys
love
are
the
going to have them
Chronicles of
on
Narnia.
side things for
I
months.
do love me the Chronicles of Narnia.
Love some Narnia.
Same. It's a great
See, Becca, you're not. You're
But who's
gonna
Aslan?
start
Is it RM or is it Yoongi?
We've already been discussing Doctor Who.
yeah, Doctor Who's already in the pipeline.
Yeah, we've already been
A
discussing
Star
Doctor Who.
Wars. So Vinyl has asked if we're doing a Star Wars BTS mashup, and I vote yes, of course.
We
I
have
vote yes.
plans. I
It's
can't
on the
specify
list.
what order the plans are in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a list, you guys. There's a list.
Trust.
See?
It's a
Okay, Em
lengthy
and Leslie
list.
are in disagreement. That's why I put that question out there.
Who's disagreeing about what?
Oh,
They're
man.
disagreeing
Oh,
over who's
Aslan?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Yoongi with long green ears and see how that
Emily
turns out.
says RM, and then Leslie says Yoongi. That's a
I'm
very
going for-
interesting.
You guys, That
Frazzling.
AI had trouble when we were trying to do two humans together. You really think Yoongi and a Yoda mashup is going to turn into anything other than pure nightmare fuel? You guys are fucking
Or
crazy.
Yoongi and a lion.
We
I mean,
will
we know he's a cat,
explode
but-
that AI.
Well, like here was part of what kept going wrong with Hobie was that it kept trying to bring in reference pictures of Gollum. And
Yes.
it kept going in and like deleting them out
Yeah.
manually. And then there was some horrible mashup of like Gollum with a clown that it was also using as a reference.
The
Oh
AI
my
was doing him
was
so
awful.
dirty.
The
I know,
AI
it
was
like melting.
Do
Just
not ruin Yoongi for me. Do not
rude.
ruin Yoongi for me.
Yeah, his were not great either.
No, they were not.
I think we need to pick a better AI.
Look, the really
Yeah,
good
we
ones
need
you
a
have to
new
pay
AI
for.
system.
It's true. It's true. We
And
are
they won't do
Oh.
celebrities. Because we paid
we
for
are
one
we're
that
cheap
wouldn't do
bitches. We didn't want to pay
celebrities.
for it.
I'm
Well, no, I
picturing
paid for one
Yoda,
at the time.
Yoda doing young. Oh Lord,
Oh,
Jocelyn,
Yoongi
do not
Yoda.
encourage this.
We
The
need Jocelyn.
grandpa dance. Why would you do this to us, Jocelyn?
There's that long running like meme song where with Yoda, what is it like something about the seagulls? I know somebody's gonna know it.
Oh my
Stop
God!
it
Yes,
now.
I know
I
that
know that
song.
one.
I have
Yes.
a T-shirt with that song. I do
Yes.
have a T-shirt with that song.
Yes, exactly. So Yoongi dancing to that would be hysterical.
Should not.
No.
Going on the list.
I'm sending this to the admin group. That video of Yoda singing the Seagulls.
Oh no.
I can't with y'all. You guys, you cannot gatekeep. If we're gonna talk about it, because nobody else gets to see stuff, you guys better get to work on this. I'm giving now as an assignment. 'Cause
I
everybody feels
swear, I
left out.
already have in my head Taeyong training in Dagobah with Yoongi on his back, in his backpack. I just see it so clearly.
But we're gonna find out if that the AI can't do this, so we're gonna end up with like stick
Remember when
drawings.
they went to
I've
what was
lost
it,
control.
Hawaii?
I've
And
lost all
Taeyong,
control.
And
Taeyong had Yoongi on his back.
Yes, and tell me I'm wrong. Why is Hobie R2D2? Tell me I'm wrong. Why is
Who?
Hobie R2D2?
No, he
Oh,
did Yoda.
Yeah.
I don't know why I see it. I just see it.
No, he totally did Yoda when he was on Dagobah, right? In the swamp, he had Yoda on
No,
his back.
she said Hobie is R2D2.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
some reason Hobie's
Oh.
R2D2. I don't know why. I'll have to we can argue about it
You're
later
like,
in
I
the
don't
chat. We
No,
always do.
no one can be
She's like,
Jar Jar
I will not be accepting any questions right now.
Oh my
No.
God.
Christine,
No
like,
Jar
I
Jar.
don't make the rules. This is just how it is.
We might not have content next week. It's going to be all Star Wars BTS content.
We'll have
stuff.
content.
Of course. Have you doubted it 1 minute?
Yeah,
I've
next
been
week's
deep in
content.
it all day today.
Okay, we better end this thing
Yeah.
I got
And on
too many
that note.
ideas.
before
I
you
don't
get
need
more
any
ideas.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's
Okay,
so much
everybody,
going
thank you
on
for
there.
joining us tonight. This will be on YouTube later. We will load it. Make sure you go over, follow Noona's Noonchi, join the Patreon, pre-order her book, throw her a lot of love. She's amazing. Hopefully we'll get her back often. And we love you guys. Let us
so
know
much
if you
fun.
need
Thank you guys
anything.
for taking part.
Yes.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank
If
you
you
for
have
being
more
a
Star
part of
Wars
the space.
speculation, bring it to
Oh,
Discord.
wait,
Yay.
hold on.
I'm
And
turning.
join the map. Join the map so you can find a friend.
Yes, join the map.
and
Join the map. Love you guys. Good night.
good night, everyone.